Alright, what's going on, guys? My name's Sinister Skater. Welcome to the channel. Season 5 for Modern Warfare went live today, and we're going to be going over all the new major content and then the patch notes for update 1.24. We have some interesting things in both. Just want to say up front, excuse the gameplay. It may be a little rusty looking because I haven't played a video game in about 3 weeks, and man, it felt weird to play my first game of Call of Duty with a controller earlier this morning. Let's start off with the update size, which could be bad news or good news depending on how you look at it. For PlayStation 4, you're looking at a 35GB update, and on Xbox and PC, you're looking at 50 to 55 gigs of data you have to download, which is absolutely massive for this game. But the good news is, once you download this patch, the overall game size should be smaller than pre-update, and this is due to their ongoing efforts to optimize the game files. As for the new major seasonal multiplayer content, we have a new operator called 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬, who is part of the Shadow Company, which is interesting. I'm curious to see what they do with this lore, because if you guys don't know, the Shadow Company is General Shepard's goons in Modern Warfare 2. We have 3 new weapons. 2 of them are in the Battle Pass. We have the AN-94 Assault Rifle, which seems pretty good on first use in private matches. And then the ISO SMG, which I don't know about this one. I'm going to have to definitely test this thing out. My first impressions is you have a worse ammo situation than the Fennec, which is not good news up front. And then the third weapon we have is the Dual Kodachis, which is a new melee weapon. Not sure if it's stat changing like the Kali sticks, but I will be unlocking those within the next week and covering that on my channel, as well as the other 2 weapons. We also have 4 new multiplayer maps, and minus the Ground War map, they all appear to be brand new maps, which is awesome. We have no remakes, no reimagines, anything like that. We have Sudal Harbor, which was kind of eerie to play on after seeing the news about that harbor explosion in Lebanon. Did you guys see that the other day? That was insane. I hope people are all right. The other maps we have are Petrov Oil Rig. That and Sudal Harbor are both 6v6 maps. And then Livestock is your new face-off map, which is based off Krovnik Farmland, but it is a brand new map. And then the Verdansk Airport is your new Ground War map. As for new major Warzone content, the stadium has been blown open. You can now fly in from the top, and the whole inside is accessible. There's different levels. There's the midfield. There's a basement. It is a hot drop, so be ready to fight if you land there. The train station also opened up. You can access the insides of both the ends of that train station. There's multiple ways to get in and multiple stories. There also are vertical zip lines on almost every tall building on the Warzone map. You're looking at downtown, stadium, the train station, the prison. There's at least one on every structure. I think the bigger structures like stadium have more than one, and there are new ways to get to the high ground and challenge people that are camping up there. There also is a new live event called the Juggernaut Drop. This works like the fire sale and the jailbreak. It could randomly happen in the game. It could not happen at all, but it will drop the Juggernaut care package for someone to go claim, and then they can be a Juggernaut in the map, just like the Juggernaut Battle Royale game mode we had over the last couple of weeks. Red card keys have also been spotted on the map again to open up some bunkers, and people have found a new P126 key, and we're trying to figure out what that opens up as well. And lastly, there is a new game mode called Mini Royale, which is a faster paced battle royale game. You start on a smaller circle, and it's only the first and last 5 minutes of the normal battle royale game, which makes for quicker, action-packed gameplay. And for both Warzone and multiplayer, war tracks have been added for vehicle customization. These are songs that you can play while in a vehicle. You can access these by buying the premium battle pass. They're insta unlocks as of right now. I'm sure they'll add more down the line. The 3 songs you can get right now are all metal. I'd love to see some other genres down the line. Add some hip-hop music, some disco music, electronic music, etc., etc. Moving on to the patch notes here for Warzone and multiplayer. Weapon inspects have been added. To inspect your weapon, you hold left on the D-pad on console. When you inspect your weapon, the background goes a little bit blurry, and it's a great feature to see, especially for content creators and thumbnails. Mastery challenges have been added to the game. There are 8 Warzone challenges and 5 multiplayer challenges as of now. These are additional quote-unquote difficult challenges to complete that will reward you animated calling cards, at least as of right now. I think they're adding more throughout the season, if I remember reading that correctly. And I just found it funny that they made a little modification for shipment and shoot house on some of the calling cards where they increased the amount of kills you needed by 20. A pretty major change has been made to stopping power rounds across the board. Stopping power rounds are now preserved on dropped weapons in every game mode, meaning that if you load stopping power rounds into your weapon and then drop them, whoever picks that weapon up, whether that be yourself or an enemy, will have stopping power rounds in that ready to go. It doesn't matter if it's a full mag or if you have half a mag of stopping power rounds, those things will no longer disappear. This also applies to if you just load stopping power rounds and then swap to a weapon on the ground, which I've done countless of times accidentally in Warzone. Now you don't have to worry about that. They've also added a brief decay period to footstep sounds. Now there is a gradual fall off when you transition from sprinting to either walking or crouching or standing still. Instead of that transition being instantaneous, now it should be a little bit easier to use footsteps to pinpoint where enemies are. As for Warzone specific changes, we have brand new loot this season. There are 8 common, 13 uncommon, 15 rare, 19 epic, and 25 legendary blueprints in the current Warzone loot pool. I've seen Ram 7s, Renettis, Uzis, AUGs, models, P90 Bruin, MP7 Scar, Car 98K, all as like the common and uncommon drops on the ground so far. And I've seen a bunch of interesting rarer loot, like CDL variants are in the game. There's tons of PKM legendaries. I've seen AKs, dual magnums, good Grau variants, the no stock M4 is back. Bunch of cool weapons to pick up and change up the ground weapon meta at least. Sadly, I haven't seen a foul on the ground, although you can still make your loadout drop with that. The buy station had some adjustments made to it. Redeploys and self-revive used to cost $4,500. That has now been reduced to $4,000 for each of those. And the munitions box has been reduced from $5,000 to $4,500. I don't believe there are any new weapons in the Gulag, but the Gulag will now rotate every week between 4 sets of weapons. I think we have the original shotgun pistols, the SMGs and the ARs, and the snipers. There may be one other set of weapons, I can't remember right now, but there's 4 different sets that are going to rotate every week to kind of keep things fresh in the Gulag. The most wanted contract will now respawn every teammate in the Gulag, whereas before would only respawn them if the player was actually dead. And lastly, they increased the damage range on all semi-auto DMRs and snipers and increased the damage range for the FR556. Not sure the exact stats on that, but that's the only weapon balancing we saw in this update, which isn't really much. But they did mention we will be seeing more weapon balancing in about a month for the mid-season update. And if last season tells us anything, that should be a pretty major weapon balancing pass-through. We got a couple multiplayer specific things worth mentioning. If you guys played the COD League playlist, all suppressors, all thermal optics, and the Merc foregrip attachments are now restricted. There were several exploit and bug fixes, but none of them really stood out to me as being too major. And I guess this isn't multiplayer, but in co-op, they added a ping system into the game, although it's just a location ping. You can't ping weapons or anything other than a location, at least as of right now. That may change in the future. If we look at the roadmap for Season 5, the Bare Bones playlist, Ground War Reinforced, Kingslayer game modes, and the new weapon, new operator, 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐽 in the mid-season event are coming down the line. Everything else we got as of right now. And I will leave you with the playlist for this week in multiplayer. We have Ground War, which includes the new map, Blueprint Gunfight, Search and Destroy Double Down, which is a 12v12 search and destroy game mode instead of it being 6v6. We have Face Off, which features livestock, and then Oil Rig and Harbor 24/7, which are those new multiplayer maps. And in Warzone, we have duos, trios, and quads. Solos Buyback, which used to be Solo Stimulus, they renamed that. We have Plunder, Blood Money quads, and lastly, Mini Royale trios. So that, my friends, is everything you need to know about Season 5 for Modern Warfare and Update 1.24. If I missed anything, please let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the update. I will also be covering the new Battle Pass shortly after this video goes live on this channel, so stick around for that if you're curious to see what that looks like. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing because we're always talking about Call of Duty on this channel, and hit that bell notification. Check the links down below in the description if you'd like to help support my channel. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. My name is Sinister Skater, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace out.